Oh yeah, that time that my husband and I had a full-blown conversation with Peggy the Doll. Yeah, I'll tell you about it. In 2020, I got married to my wonderful husband Robbie, and we went on a honeymoon, and I wanted to go to the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum because I'm spooky and I like things spooky. While we were there, we had an encounter with Peggy the Doll that to this day is like, I think about it and it shakes me. I'm not shaking for the reasons you might think. I'm actually terrified for the other people that Peggy was talking about. Robbie and I got along just fine with her, but she was not happy with some of the other guests, and she made that very clear. Right before entering that part of the Haunted Museum, they always tell you, be very respectful to Peggy. Always say hello and always say goodbye. It's very important. And I take things like that very seriously. So I got down, crouched like this to Peggy's level, and I said, "Hey Peggy, how are you? I hope they're treating you well. I hope you're having a good day." And right then her eyes went poof, and they flashed bright green. And I looked at my husband, I said, "Did you see that?" He's all, "Yes, my love. Now say goodbye. Now say goodbye." And she's all, "You're a real one." And I was like, "Thank you, Peggy." And then she's like, "You should stay and talk with me." And Robbie said, "Say goodbye, my love. Say goodbye, my love." So I was like, "I gotta go, Peggy. Goodbye." And she's like, "Come back and see me. Don't leave me here." And I'm like, "Okay, Peggy, I'll come back." She's like, "You promise you'll come back?" And I said, I'll come back. And Robbie's like, "Say goodbye, say goodbye." And she said to Robbie, "Don't be a little B word," and let her talk to me. And so I was like, what the fuck? Like, I guess she said, "Don't be a little bitch and let her talk to me." And I was like, what the freak? And he said, "Sorry, Peggy, we'll come back and visit a different time, but we gotta go for now. Goodbye, goodbye." And so we're like outside the room. Meanwhile, it's during COVID time, right? So we're spaced out pretty far, and the people who were in the beginning of it, they looked at her and they were like, "She's not real, blah, blah, blah." And we're basically talking shit to Peggy, which that is a no-no. And basically what she ended up telling Robbie was that she was going to follow the guy home who was making fun of her and who made fun of John Wayne Gacy, and he was going to get cancer, and that their family was going to get in a car wreck on the way home. I really hope none of that happened. Blessings on their family. Praying that they got home safe. But Peggy meant it. Peggy was serious. So fast forward, we're back at our hotel. We're staying at the Flamingo at the time, which a lot of stuff happened at the Flamingo. Robbie and I keep seeing what looks like a little girl running back and forth at the edge of her bed and going into the bathroom. And it looked just like Peggy. And then I kept having dreams that she wanted me to give her a certain stone, which I will not mention here, because she wanted it to unlock her, and she knows I know how to do that. And I would not do it. So Peggy is not to be messed with. She's real. Peggy had also mentioned that the lady who was standing outside of her room didn't have enough respect, and if she didn't give her the respect she deserved, that she was going to teach her some respect. So because of that, I wrote the museum and told them all the things that Peggy and I had talked about. And then somebody at the museum wrote me back and said that that was all very interesting, but that they assured me that everybody was going to be safe, and that Peggy likes everybody just fine, and that even though all she does is mostly cuss at people. So you know what? Take it for what it's worth. I don't know what happened there. I just know that was my experience. It was one I will never forget.